And we're joined by Gaborone United Ladies FC coach Khalid Nyonzima. Welcome back, coach, to the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifier. Last year, your team made a huge impression as beaten finalists on debut. How has that experience shaped your preparations for this year's tournament?
Thank you for having me. I think the goal and the mandate of the team is to try to rectify the mistakes that we have done last year at Malawi. Remember, at Malawi we came up as runners-up of UWC. So the mandate of this tournament of 2025 COSAFA is to try by all means to win it. So the preparation has been going well. I'm happy with the progress that the players have been showing at training. We are hoping for the best. We are willing to do whatever we can to try to win this tournament.
You are talking about hoping for the best. How do you plan to balance the hunger for revenge as well as calmness needed to go all the way this time?
We need to take each and every game as it.
Jersey number 16, Rwanda. Jersey number 2.
Okay, I can hear them though.
Jersey number 3.
The coaches' comments.
Jersey number 6, Sinile.
Okay.
Jersey number 7,
Okay.
Ngambule, she's also the captain. Jersey number 13, Samgelisi with Priti Malinga. Jersey number 14.
Okay, can Was it the rehearsal that I did? Oh.
Jersey number 17, Smanye.
Okay, thank you.
Jersey number 18, Novi Nozo. Jersey number 19, Patience Magagula. Sitting on the bench for Young Buffaloes, Rinile Janini, she'll be the reserve goalkeeper. Jersey number 8, Nopila Glovu. Jersey number 9, Novuyo Duva. Jersey number 10, Sisanda Nzisa. Jersey number 11, Spilise Glovu. Jersey number 12, Tande Gambata. Jersey number 20, we have Imalangeli Jambini. She's the midfielder. She'll be wearing jersey number 20. The head coach is Fisa Klopp.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon and welcome to CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifiers 2025. It is our day number 2, match number 3. It is Group B. We are live at the University of Johannesburg A.W. Miller Stadium. The temperatures are sitting at 21 degrees Celsius. It is the two teams, the last year's semi-finalists and the last year's finalists. I'm talking about the last year's debutants, and this year it is their second appearance. It is Gaborone United Ladies up against Abantwana Baseswatini. We're talking about the young Buffaloes who were trashed on the semi-finals by the then champions University of Western Cape Ladies FC. They went out just to check the field if it is okay for them to tackle each other. But we heard earlier on the coaches that they are so ready for this encounter. Like I said, it is our second day of this tournament. It's CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifiers. I wonder who is going to get the golden prize of representing the Southern Africa region in the CAF Women's Champions League later this year. But earlier on, we had our coaches sounding so ready for this encounter. Let's hear our coaches. And we're joined by Gaborone United Ladies FC coach Khalid Nyonzima. Welcome back, coach, to the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifier. Last year, your team made a huge impression as beaten finalists on debut. How has that experience shaped your preparations for this year's tournament?
Thank you for having me. I think the goal and the mandate of the team is to try to rectify the mistakes that we have done last year at Malawi. Remember, at Malawi we came up as runners-up of UWC. So the mandate of this tournament of 2025 COSAFA is to try by all means to win it. So the preparation has been going well. I'm happy with the progress that the players have been showing at training. We are hoping for the best. We are willing to do whatever we can to try to win this tournament.
You are talking about hoping for the best. How do you plan to balance the hunger for revenge as well as calmness needed to go all the way this time?
We need to take each and every game as it comes. Looking at the players that you are having this time around, I think we have a balanced squad to try to win the tournament.
Coach, you showed exceptional quality last year. Are there any key players, maybe, or new faces you feel they could be the game changers?
Yeah, we brought 2 players from Turkey. Lone, and Gitumes is back from Turkey. Then we managed to brief the squad with 2 players from double action. The number 10, Leso Radia Kanyen, or Atlera Taj, which I think they brought depth in the team. So the team is balanced and ready to shoot.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
Today we are joined by Young Buffaloes coach Afisi Wehlope. Good afternoon, coach.
Afternoon.
You are back for the second consecutive year this year in this tournament. You opened against the finalists last year. How are you feeling going into this encounter?
Yeah, we are happy that we have come for the 4th time in this tournament. We have learned a lot, so we have prepared for this tournament.
Last year, you were knocked out on the finals, semi-finals, and to end your first victory in the competition. How important is it the start today, and you're playing against Gaborone, last year's finalist?
It's a tricky game. It's important for us to win this game at all costs, because we want to go to the knockout stage.
Your team coach has the experience of repeated appearances. Do you see that your main advantage against the side that last year they finished on the finals?
Yeah, it's an advantage to us because we haven't changed the squad that much. We have just added 3 or 4 players this year, so we're hoping for the better.
Last year your squad showed an exceptional quality. Are you bringing any new names this year?
Yeah, we are only having 3 players that are new, but they are not new in the team. It's just that they were left here the other time when we came here.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
That's what our coaches had to say. Coach Khalid saying that they have to take each game as it is. On the other side, the most experienced team from Eswatini, Young Buffaloes, they want to make sure that they win today's games. Remember, they bring their strength, confidence, and their football going forward. On the other side, it is the Gaborone United, where they want to finish on the top. But is it going to happen? Let me tell you, Mpulapuli, at home, that everyone is set. The stage is ready. Players are so ready. Even our commentators on the other side, the commentator Tando, is ready to give us the action. We are live here at University of Johannesburg, Miller Stadium. It is day number 2, match number 3. It is the start of Group B games. Back to you, commentator.
Welcome wherever in the world you join us to Johannesburg, the city of gold, where dreams are mined, refined and tested in the furnace of competition. We are at the A.W. Muller Stadium on day 2 of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, and today Group B takes center stage. It is a meeting of champions from the Kalahari Sands of Botswana. Come Gaborone United, queens of their land, scarred but not broken. A team who stared at the summit last year and saw it slip from their grasp on their cruel lottery of penalties. From the mountain kingdom of Eswatini marched the young buffaloes, their horns sharpened, their pride restored, determined that this time their journey will not end in the pain of a semi-final defeat. Good crowd out here as well here at the UJAW Muller campus for the focus on COSAFA women's football. We had a good turnout yesterday in the two opening games in Group A, and now our focus is on two contrasting nations, two contrasting teams, Eswatini and Botswana. Last year in Malawi, they met and could not be separated. A 1-1 draw that told of equals, of rivals, of two sides destined to meet each other again. Today they meet once more, but the stakes have grown heavier, the prize more glittering, and the hunger more urgent. The 5th edition this of these COSAFA women's qualifiers. The 4th time that this competition is held in South Africa, and the first time that it is held in Johannesburg. The previous 3 editions in South Africa being hosted in Durban. So the people of Jozi being treated to the feast that is Southern African women's football. Coach Anna Monate as well among the dignitaries for COSAFA. We know how much she loves the women game. She's been involved coaching at teams such as UJ, TUT, and now as well serves as an analyst for SABC Sports. She's one of the important members here for COSAFA. So for Gaborone United, this is about redemption, a chance to avenge the heartbreak of yesterday and prove that Botswana's champions belong among Africa's elite. For young Buffaloes, this is about discovery, about taking Eswatini further than it has ever gone before, about lifting a nation on their shoulders and daring to dream of the CAF Women's Champions League. These 12 o'clock kickoffs, well watched around the continent and the globe. Yesterday, 3-0 winners were Zeska in their opening game. Mamelodi Sundowns also won by the same scoreline. But this is a team for Gaborone United that's been at the competition once now. Didn't qualify in 2021, 22, 23, and they were runners-up in 24. And they share 3-lady group with Kick for Life women, who for them it's also their first time here at this COSAFA Women's Qualifiers. So you can imagine that this first game against these two sides that were both semi-finalists last year in Malawi is going to have some bearing on the group. And Kick for Life women will be watching this with keen eyes. So will the other eyeballs all around the continent and the globe. So flag bearers waiting on for the respective teams as the world watches along. 2 games yesterday, 2 games a day. By the time Wednesday hits, we'll have an indication of how the group stage looks here in this women's competition. Exciting. You need to get off to a good start early on, and both sides will be looking to do exactly that. So here they are, the red of Botswana, the green of Eswatini, converging beneath the high-felt sun. 2 flags, 2 nations, 2 champions, bound by the same destiny and divided only by 90 minutes of truth. From Gaborone Gaborone to Mbambane, from the Okvanyo Delta to El Zweleni Valley. Their journeys have brought them here to Johannesburg, to the stadium, to this very moment. One will step forward, one will falter, but together they carry the torch of women's football in Southern Africa. A torch that burns brighter with every pass, every tackle, and every goal. This is Gaborone United, this is Young Buffaloes, this is the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, where champions rise, where dreams are tested, and where Africa watches. So, for the man that's been with this side for the longest time, Khalid Nyuzama, he's gone with a 4-3-3 formation. He'll be looking forward to the inspiration of Jessica Modise up front, who had 2 goals last time out, as well as a goal against Young Buffaloes. Playing alongside her will be Kate Dumetsi and Ontla Metsi, who will look to provide a very good threat. The midfield is full of national team players. Bailetsi, Ratari, and Radio Canyo will occupy that middle of the park. Gloria Sambumba takes charge of this game, assisted by South African duo Nandipa Menze and Maneo Tau. The 4th official is from Lesotho here today. We've also got VAR led by Nonjabulo Ndlela from South Africa, and Muswawa from Zambia has already been used very early on in that game yesterday, the first one where Zeska were involved. Captains will go through their pre-match routine, the coin toss, as both sides get ready here for what should be a big game. This in Group B, a rematch, a round 2 between these two sides. So Lesego Radiokanya, saw how well she played at the recent Women's Africa Cup of Nations for Botswana, put on some really brave performances for the side, and she looked to play a very important role today. On the other side of the coin, you've got Eliwe Nkambule, who had a goal last year. So here's how the Young Buffaloes team looks. They too look to match Gaborone United stride for stride. They also have some good national players. The back line is full of them: Ndwandwe, Sikonze, Ngozo, and Dlamini. The midfield 3 consists of Marks, Mohale, Malinga, and up front, watch out for Sandi Swa. 4 goals for her. Makakula plays and leads the line, and Kambule, who is one of the players nominated for the Women's Player of the Year in Eswatini, leads the line as well. Fiswe Hlope takes charge of this Amatole Ezinyati team. And on the other side of the coin, you've got Khalid Nyuzama, who's been through with the side through thick and thin. There's nothing he hasn't seen with this Gaborone United team, and this year he wishes for that lucky spell, and perhaps they could be Southern Africa's pick for Africa's mecca of women's club football. So here we are, whether you're watching from Botswana, whether you're watching from Eswatini, you too are part of this moment. You too are part of this game here at the UJAW Muller campus. Boots laced, mind on the mission, heart on the mission. And now only the ball will do the talking as Gaborone United kick us off in this 12 o'clock kickoff here at the UJAW Muller campus in the first of Group B's games here in this year's qualifiers. So let's see how these two teams come into this one. Gaborone United would have felt last year that they could have easily got the result against Young Buffaloes, but they proved to be a stubborn outfit in Malawi. Both sides have arrived in Johannesburg on Thursday, so they've both had time to acclimatize to the conditions in Johannesburg, and they also had a training session yesterday, so that gives them some preparation here for this one. It's rather hot out there, down there too, so proper African conditions as Makakula looks to turn it up a notch here early on for Amatole Ezinyati. The Young Buffaloes, that's their nickname, and what it means is a small buffalo. That's what Amatole Ezinyati are. Radiakanya, captain of the side, looks to be influential early on. Yes, the cross! Calls off a corner. The referee's in close proximity, and all she adjudicates is a goal kick. Good movement here towards this left channel for Radiakanya. I've mentioned already, and she played with her heart on her sleeve at the recent Women's Africa Cup of Nations. They came at some really tight games, did Botswana. I remember the one against Algeria was particularly tight. Bosija had some really good moments in goal in that game. Both these sides champions of their respective homelands and champions by some bits now. Because for the Young Buffaloes, it's their 4th consecutive league title that they'd won in the Eswatini Women's League. For Gaborone United, they were completely dominant in the Women's League in Botswana, playing 14 games, winning all 14. And a noteworthy stat is that they only conceded 3 goals while scoring 61. They finished above double action by some bit of points. That Gaborone United, they had 42, by double action only at 29. So it was not even a shadow of doubt that they would be on the top of the Botswana hill and would be their pick for this competition. Mamba only to the feet of Gaborone United. And Tlameti can't get onto that one. In the midfield, they start to work it now. Mokhale only to the feet of Kisegofeti Muchawe. For the Young Buffaloes, they're a regular here. They return for a 4th year running to Amatole Zinyati. And they join Mamelodi Sundowns and Green Buffaloes as the only side to have featured in 4 of the regional qualifiers. And battle that in the midfield. Gaufetuchi. This is Muchawe. Looks up, sends service on the top of the pitch. It's a moderate start here. Sides still really feeling each other out, feeling the leather. Yesterday, Zesco Ndola Girls FC with 3-0 winners against Beauties FC in the first game of the competition. Mamelodi Sundowns then, 2-time champions, also beat Ndopwa FC by 3-0. That's the only group that has 4 teams. The other groups have only got 3. Now qualification will work for the knockout stages. Every group winner goes through, and the best second place side will feature in semi-finals next week, Friday. Quick turnaround time for those games. Here's Modise, Jessica Modise, battling there with Weli Lendwandwe. She's going to need to be at her best against Weli Lendwandwe. This lady was nominated as well as the Women's Player of the Year in Eswatini this year. Is Weli Lendwandwe, as well as a regular feature of the national setup. So here's the dead ball then for Gaborone. Played short. Still working it there. He's going to have the shot from some distance out. Will jersey 77, Ratari, another one of their national players that was present at the Cup of Nations. They've made progress, have the Young Buffaloes, over the years in their COSAFA qualifier campaigns. After 2 group stage exits both in 2022 and 2023. They reached the semi-finals last year, though they fell to eventual winners and qualifiers for their Women's Champions League, the University of the Western Cape, by 6-0. Ditebe battling away there, and it's won back by the young Buffaloes. Back at Gaborone feet. Goes down, does Undwandewe against that contact. Radiakanya plays it down, and Gaborone enjoying the leather here. And anywhere else will do for some Gelisiwe Malinga. Buffaloes under pressure early on here. But they've kept their structure well in the first half a dozen minutes. Didn't take all too long yesterday for Zeska to find themselves onto the scorer sheet. VAR called in a couple of times in that game yesterday, especially for penalties here towards this right side. Gaborone United did not qualify for the previous 4 editions. The 3 editions dating from 2021 to 2023. They were runners-up last year with their first ever celestial ballet dance in this competition. So from 1v1, they will think that they can go all the way again this year. They did lose on penalties last year to the University of the Western Cape. It was one of the longest penalty shootouts I've ever seen, certainly for that. If you remember that penalty shootout in Malawi, I think it easily went to about 10 penalties taken between them and UWC. One had to fault. I think it even got to an extent where players were stepping up to take twice. The whole team had taken and then they had to take again. Unfortunate to lose in that type of lottery, especially a lottery that goes that distance. Here's Marks pulling the strings now in the midfield for the Buffaloes. Mkhale. Back at Gaborone United feet. Feeling the leather well, looks to make the pass through there to Ontlametsi. Can't get it through. Dwandre will need to play an important feature of that defense. It was a 9-8 penalty shootout that Modise and Moloi were the star names for the Botswana side. And Ketumeti Ditebe was named in the best starting 11 for the side, and Mochawe was in some of the best defenders. So they've got some players that have got the experience once for Gaborone, and they're here again to give it another go. Nancy Baletsi has seen a lot of it. Nice calm on her feet there is Lamini. Now Gambule, the captain of the side. She was also nominated alongside Ndwandwe for the Eswatini Women's Player of the Year award. And battling away is Radia Kanya in the midfield and winning that battle. Impressed some faces at the Cup of Nations, Tedulisejo Radia Kanya, and you heard how affectionately the coach speaks of her as well, that she's going to be a firm feature in the side. She wins that battle there against Simi Lemox. Also had a Man of the Match award, did Radia Kanya in Morocco. I'm sure they'll be really licking their lips and thinking about the Cup of Nations next year. And before that, they will have, of course, there's a provisional date for the COSAFA Women's Championship later in South Africa this year in October. So I guess that will be the most immediate international competition on their minds. Swatini have already released a whole host, well, named a list of players that are potentially going to be representatives in that competition. So here's another set piece, number 2 for Gaborone United. Ratari on top of it. Referee indicates that she's watching, she's looking down there as to any pushing and shoving. So Gaborone send the delivery in, the goalkeeper gets a glove on that, and here begins the potential counter break for Young Buffaloes. Played downfield to Makakula. Gaborone enjoying the lion's share of possession early on here just after 10 minutes. We're heading towards a dozen minutes of football here. Ratari. That's a good tackle by Samgelisiwe Malinga. One of the young players in the side is Malinga. One back by Mokhale. Sandiswa. 4 goals for her last year in this competition. She was an outright real hard-hitting performer for the Young Buffaloes. Now this is end-to-end stuff. Tries to shepherd the player. Does a good job. Does Futi Dlamini. Had 1 goal in last year's edition of the competition. Ratar. Making them play a half-ground game at the moment, Gaborone United. This is Radiakanya, still Radiakanya going options for her. And she's chosen the wrong one there, unfortunately. But one back, they will not falter. They will not let the Young Buffaloes get into their own half. Ratari, oh, that's a great-looking ball. It's a necessary challenge that to prevent anything untoward from occurring. And now themselves can feel the leather, can the Young Buffaloes. But again, they unable to get it into Gaborone United half. A successful team in terms of this competition. Mamelodi Sundowns, who've won it twice now. Last year's winners were the other South African side in UWC. Kenyaditse looks for options in that box. It's only yellow shirts that are able to get that ball away, but only to the feet of the enemies. Good skipping, glides past one. Dings almost with a toe punch there, does Niseko Radiakanya. Buffalo's ladies team, just a couple of weeks ago now, were winners of the Ingwenyama Cup in Eswatini. A team that really dominates in the local league. Now Nkambule picks up the afterburners and is going to win the first dead ball. Or is it for Young Buffaloes? Seems like they're getting ready for a corner themselves. It's the first set piece for them. So what can they conjure up? What have they been working on in the week? Preparations for this competition for both these sides would have started a while ago, 2-1 corners wise. Sandiswa sends it to the box. Nothing tangible falls there for the Young Buffaloes. So this competition was started back in 2020 when CAF announced the launch of the CAF Women's Champions League, with each of the 6 sub-confederations to hold qualifiers with the winners to represent them at the main tournament. So in April 2021, COSAFA announced the launch of the inaugural Women's Champions League, confirmed the 8 teams to participate. The inaugural competition was held in Durban. Remember, the Sundowns from South Africa defeated Black Rhino Queens from Zimbabwe 3-0 in the final. Young Buffaloes were knocked out in the group stage in that competition. They are one of the teams that have been here year in and out, and Marks, it could fall favorably there for her. This is Marks. Nkambule once, Nkambule gets. Young Buffaloes feeling the ball a little bit more now, and a shot on target by Sandiswa Ngampahla. She had so much fun in Malawi last year, did Ngampahla. And starting to feel the leather more and share the leather more with one another are Young Buffaloes. But it's an easy save to make for Botswana international goalkeeper. One back by Amatole Zinyati. And in the midfield is where they cede the ball away. And they begin to be countered themselves. Sekho Radiakanya leads the charge, and then it's one back. This is going to be this type of fight, blow for blow. They're going to go one-on-one for each other for the entire 90 minutes, these sides. I mentioned that there's only ever been one game between them, and the one game ended in a stalemate. They both feel that they would have prepared better this year. Perhaps some new names as well that can influence the game. Ontlameti chases down, it falls at Mamba's hands. Good ball, that's in a chance, yeah! Just on the other side of the bar. It's a slow poison-like ball that's for Jessica Modise. She scored last year against Young Buffaloes. She wants Lightning to strike twice, this time not in Lilongwe but in South Africa. She also scored against the Herental Queens. She had 2 goals to her name in the previous edition. It's one back here by Ontlametsi. Really enjoying the ball. She's beaten a couple. Yes, surely now. Oh, it's a brilliant save that by the goalkeeper. What a stop by Mamba. Oh, did such good work there, did Keitsumetse Ditebe. One of the players in the All-Star 11 last year. One back. Gaborone mean business. This is Lisejo Radiakanya. Passes it wayward. Lisejo Radiakanya, if I should tell you something about her, she was also the best player of the tournament in 2023. But that time she was playing for double action. As a yellow card is issued to Sikanyiso Makakula. Well, that was that magic by Keitumetsi Ditebe. She too has won the Best Player of the Tournament award. She was the best player last year. We don't even need to look very far, did Keitumetsi Ditebe. So that's an interesting fact. 2 players that were the best 2 players in the past 2 editions of the competition are both in this Gaborone United ladies team. Played short, Ditebe again. He wanted to play that little 1-2. You could see the idea there. Ngambul. 20 minutes into the first half. COSAFA making sure to bring these games, and once again in Women's Month. Empower the girl child, empower her. And do commend them for those efforts. Gaborone United team, it wasn't too long ago where they were in fact promoted to the top flight of women's football in Botswana. It was in 2022 where they won the Gaborone Central Regional Football Division 2 and were promoted. And in the very next season, they were runners-up to Double Action Ladies in 2023, losing in the final 1-0. Making the run, she was in an offside role. I guess that's why she started to back away from the ball. Away it goes by Nkambule. Still in the parameters of play here, but no other yellow shirts chasing it. Hope you've enjoyed the watch so far, whether you're in Botswana, Eswatini, or whether you're just a lover of women's football and watching. It's been a decent start so far, a moderate start, a prudent start to this game. But here's Makakula. That could cause problems. She continues to chase that ball down. Marks. Both sides have got a good amount of national representatives as well. In fact, they match each other stride for stride in that regard as well, because the Young Buffaloes have got 9 national names in their team, and so do Gaborone United. 9 players were in the recent Women's Africa Cup of Nations. So in that regard, they've matched each other. Almost feels a bit this like Botswana versus Eswatini, but it's not that. It's Gaborone versus Young Buffaloes. Good movement, that's gliding in the middle of the park, but it's won back by Gaufetugi. Numbers building up now for Gaborone. Been away. Good ball to that dangerous position for Jessica Modise, who looks to be the outlet of the side. Everything that's coming up front is going directly to her. She's the number 9. That one's kept in play very skillfully. Gaufetugi. Power! Hits it! Ooh! Not bad of a strike, that's considering as well that she was a couple of yards out, was alone Gaufetugi. Look at how far she was when she had that. Slenye has got some confidence on her. Sees that perhaps the goalkeeper a little bit out of place. And I guess she wanted it to just dip in time, which it didn't, unfortunately for her. Nkambule, it's off her chest and onto the feet of Radiakanya. Ditebe. Ditebe was actually the footballer that the coach was speaking about that played a bit in Turkey, had half a season there. Player goes down in the middle of the park for Gaborone United. Young Buffaloes carry on probing. Now the referee is going to check what happened there between Sandiswa Ngampahla and Ratari for Gaborone United. A collision between those two players. See the replay here. It's that collision there, and Ratari's clearly had the more difficult contacts there of the two. But here they are. Young Buffaloes, Amatole, Ezinyati. They've also got a younger women's side. They start offering their football development for young ladies starting from under 15, do the Young Buffaloes. And after that, sort of a senior team. Gaborone are the Red Roses that hail from Botswana. and runners-up last year. There were some games in preparation for this, especially from a Young Buffaloes type of thing. Well, in fact, for both teams, they had played some friendlies in their home ground. But I'll tell you something interesting about Young Buffaloes. They played some friendlies as well against some South African opposition. Particularly, there's a team in KZN by the name of Sunflower. South African followers of women's football will know it very well. They played some friendlies against Sunflower, who participate in the KZN Sasol League. And it looks like she's back up on her feet and ready to continue again. So the ball gets ready to run again, as we see some Gaborone United supporters representing the millions back home. Radiakanya chases and it's cleared away. Safety first. Methodology of defending, that's from Gozo. Ditebe slowly lining up in the box. Gaborone. The 3 o'clock game today will see Herental Queens take on Costa do Sol. They also have got a 3-team group. These sides will be in action again on Monday. They'll play on Kick for Life FC from Lesotho. Chance now, this is Modise! Hits it, but not quite with the contact that she'd wanted there. Mentioned that she's got a goal so far against this Young Buffaloes team. And it's jersey 13, Samgelisiwe Malinga, that puts her body on the line there. She had to, because you didn't know how well the contact that would be sought by Jessica Modise, and he has not sat down today. Both coaches, in fact, haven't sat down today. It's the first game, there's still lots of nerves. Is our plan going to work? Pain in the sort of abdomen area there for Samgelisiwe Malinga, who's playing in the heart of that midfield here today. Is Malinga one of the younger players in the side as well? She'll celebrate her 22nd birthday next month. Well, Malinga. Modise has got her boots back on. Also very young is Modise, born in 2005. Imagine that, only 20 years old is Modise. Both these sides have got a good balance of that. Some youth as well as some older experience that have played and are really going to carry the sides throughout the competition. But the ball moves again then. It's a reminder, only the top team in Johannesburg will advance to the CAF Women's Champions League. Only one of these teams are going to make it all the way. Such is the nature. So competitive. You've got to be right at the top of your game. From Tournament 1, only the Sundowns, in terms of their record, are yet to lose a game in this competition. So, half an hour's worth of football is into the soil here at the UJ Muller Stadium. So far it's still scoreless, although it could change now. She's got lots of running room here, does Ontlametse. Now this is Modise, cuts it back to Ditebe. Ontlametse continues chasing. This one hasn't quite gone out yet. It's going to be a third corner for Gaborone, and again it's Willie Lendwandwe. That's just watching there. Good bit of interplay between the midfielders. It's slowly opening up here for Gaborone. Oh, what a ball. That's $1 million pass, but billion-dollar tackle. Quarter of 1 hour to go in the first period. Played low. Makakula can't quite turn. It's one back by Gaborone United. They've held possession of the ball well. It'd be interesting to see what the possession stats say, but on the eye, it definitely looks that they have more of the leather. Certainly, in terms of goal mouth action, they've been more in that dangerous 18 area. Scooped up, and there we see the possession statistics then after 30 minutes. 65% of the ball has been at Gaborone United feet. Looks like that as well. Gaborone United made it out of their debut with a goalless draw against UD Lichinga from Mozambique in their first game last year. Their next match was a 1-1 draw with Young Buffaloes, and they topped their group after a 3-2 win over host Ascent Soccer Academy from Malawi to qualify for the knockout stages. That's Gabarone's proceedings last year. In the semi-finals, they won 1-0 against Oriental Queens from Zimbabwe. And then the penalty shootout against UWC. Corner for Young Buffaloes. Clears it anywhere away there, will the defender Gaufetuchi. And this is Nampahla. Oh, I enjoyed watching this lady last year. I haven't seen too much of her yet today here. Sandiswa Nampahla, pack box. All the big players are there, including Welile Nkambule. She's the one going up for that ball. Still in play here. Can he be kept in? Yes is the answer. So, still in play, scooped up the box. Ooh, and the goalkeeper made sure just to cover her area. I mean, you never know as a goalie. Sometimes it dips on the other side where you aren't sure. She's made sure to watch and carefully ensure that the ball is not on the other side. Good bit of intra passes, although that's not in the direction that the inverted Desiree Kenyaditwe would have wanted it. She's had that inverted role here today. So in fact, in terms of their COSAFA Cup qualifier record for this Gaborone United team, they've only won 2 games. It was the 3-2 in their last group game, and then it was the 1-0 against Oriental Queens of Zimbabwe. It'll be how their record sits in this competition. Referee wants it taken where it went out. For Young Buffaloes, they've played slightly more in this competition, having featured in a 4th time this year. However, their record not too better than Gaborone United. Out of 9 games played, they've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 6. That's from all of their endeavors in this competition. And the semi-finals were the furthest that they'd gone, and last year was the first time that they reached the semi-finals. So I guess the question is, will either of these 2 sides this year, who were semi-finalists last year and one of them a finalist, feature again in the Final 4? Dlamini takes it all the way to the bar, does Dlamini, and then can't put decent enough service into the box. Can Ufuthi Dlamini. Less than 10 minutes to go till the halftime break. Not many stoppages here. Faint calls of a handball. Desri clears it away. Should be the closest contested first half we've seen so far of this competition this year. Kambule. Vulavala playing Kambule. Now opportunity opens up here. Makakula hits it against Desri. Hoofed up. And it's going to land kindly on that right side for Ontlametsi. 1-2 with Murise. Back at Murise's feet. Wanted Radiakanya. It's fallen for Ratari. But yes, so far this looks like the most equally contested first half. Yesterday in both the Sundowns game and in the first game, Zeska, we'd seen goals already by the time we were at 37 minutes. But it shows you these are two teams where they're both champions, they both wanted. And they were both semi-finalists last year. And I guess it's a little bit difficult when you're in a three-team group to find yourself being that best second-place team. Just purely mathematically, you've got one less game than Group A has got with 4 teams. So you've got to get the business done early on. There's no time for nervy moments and being shy on the big stages. Good work that by Ngampahla. Told you that she can play, and she's won a set piece there for Young Buffaloes, slowly coming into the game. They've absorbed the pressure when Gaborone United have brought it, and now they look to exert some of their own. Three corners wise as well now. The biggest win for Young Buffaloes came in a 4-0 against UD Lichinga last year in the group stages. Their longest winning run was that one game where they went from the 20th of August to the 22nd of August, where they didn't lose a game. Kept one clean sheet so far, 11% clean sheets in the matches that they've played. This is Modise. This is a good level though of the women's game. You can see these are teams that have a good structure, that they're well coached. Nancy Bailetsi into the midfield. It's moving now. They often look so fluid at times, do Gaborone United. Look like at any moment they've got the capability of unlocking that defense. Ampahla has been marked by Gaufetuge. She says you're not going past, and her name suggests. So 5 minutes to go here in the first half. No goals just yet. Desri, ball played down to Lisijo. Radikanya. The sides did draw last year, but it wasn't a goalless one, it was a 1-1. Where you had Ampahla on the score sheet, as well as Jessica Modise on the score sheet. Both players are still here, and this is her. This is Jessica Modise! Oh, I think perhaps there was a slight hesitation. Perhaps thinks that she's offside as well. good contact on the ball, though. Let's have a look at it from this angle and whether there was the potential offside from Modise. She's on there. Just so slightly. Very good ball over the top, and the contact is clean. Just can't find the target. Radia Kanya, what a ball. Now surely it's opened up. This is Radia Kanya. Beats the goalie around the goalkeeper. She goes on Tlametsi. Couple of ladies lining up on the edge of that 18 area, just inside the D. And Ontlametsi tried to be the hero all by herself there. Good ball. Good skipping of the goalie by Radia Kanya, who realizes that her angle is tight and that she needs to play it to someone with perhaps a little bit more options. Goalmouth action, the better chances have fallen to Gaborone United. Mochawe plays it down. Flag stays down. Radia Kanya overcooks the cross slightly. Modise keeps it in play. Sliding challenge. Brilliant sliding challenge that. Taking her time with the throw. Marks clears it away. It's still Gaborone United ball here. And the tempo slightly dies down. And I guess from Young Buffaloes, they wouldn't mind doing that. Take it to half time. They've absorbed lots of pressure in this first period here. Modise now playing towards that far left channel. Look at the structure in the box. They've already picked up their players that they're marking already. I think it's been a mild attack from Gaborone, but a decent defense as well from the Young Buffaloes. This could scream danger. Goalkeeper doesn't deal with it. Desri, it's still there for her. And she can't hit the target either there. And perhaps that summarizes the type of 45 minutes that Gaborone United have had, where the chances have come, but they've not been executed. Well, the goalkeeper doesn't deal with it there. There's already a player marking, but wrong-footed perhaps. Skies that one. It's a three-team group. Kick for Life will be part of the millions of viewers watching on FIFA Plus and on our COSAFA platforms. It's such a good time to have this competition again, bringing together all Southern African winners and pitting them up against one another in typical COSAFA style, where only the best of the best goes to represent the region. So our 45 minutes here is up into the officials' hands, and I see the electronic board indicates that we'll have 3 additional minutes of added time here.
Referee's additional time, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Referee's additional time.
Good 1-2. It's cut out. Young Buffaloes have put all their players back now. It's a half-ground game. Desri puts it up. Hangs it in the air for someone to get onto. Nampahla. They've marked her today. They know her threats. They would have studied her with great detail. She's also one of the players that have been called up frequently to the Eswatini national team. Interestingly, Young Buffalo has got the most amount of players that contribute to well, lately they've contributed to the side. I'll tell you about that now. Those are big moments there. Desri, one back. They still remain persistent here. Spy 2 by Ditebe. Oh, nutmeg there on the way, but she can't get through. Mudise. They've got their backs against the wall now, do the young Buffaloes. Scooped up. Is there anyone there? Ditebe! Oh, it hits the bar. That's hit the bar. It hasn't gone in. Oh, such good 1-2 play. Sharing of the leather there. And the coach says nothing more she can do there. Good weight on the head. Good weight on the ball as well. She's just coming through there, and a frustrating first half for the Red Roses. It's not done just yet. Ontlametse opens up the ground. It's cleared away by Sikonze. But yes, I was telling you that young Buffaloes have got the most representatives in that Eswatini side. They've got 9. There's also teams that are represented, such as Manzini Wanderers, Zingizi Hotspurs. Chance here, big opportunity. Oh! What's it gonna take today for Ketumetse Ditebe to find the back of the net? Her nickname is Ben 10. I guess the watch is down today. I guess the watch is down today for Ditebe. Can't transform. How many opportunities? With the head, with the feet. Nothing is given here this afternoon here in Johannesburg. Young Buffaloes have just held their own. Although I'm sure from a halftime team talk perspective, Fiswe Hlophe is going to tell them that there's not many opportunities in this competition and that they need to come into the game. But before that, they'll need to defend this corner. And it's Ben 10 over it again. Radia Kanya, and that is it. The first half here of Group B of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA Qualifiers 2025 is done. Dominates on the ball, do they? Gaborone United, they really put lots of pressure on the young Buffaloes. Chance after chance, lots of goal-mouth action from their perspective. But after 45 minutes, there's nothing tangible in the scoreboard. Ditebe has had some good chances. So has Mudise and Ontlametse. There's been glimpses of moments from Kambule and Ngampahla. But after 45 minutes, it's 0 Gaborone United, 0 Young Buffaloes. So here are the numbers then from the first half. They've attempted the goal 7 times. Have Gaborone United. Only 2 of those have been on target. The same amount on target as Young Buffaloes, and that's a nice stat. COSAFA always bringing the new statistics. 66% shot accuracy for the Young Buffaloes, only 28 for Gaborone United. That will be an interesting stat. 55-45 on the ball. But the most important numbers after the first half is that it's 0 Gaborone United and 0 Young Buffaloes. Stay with us here. Do not go anywhere. Just a couple of weeks ago now, we're winners of the Ingwenyama Cup. They are one of the teams that have been here year in and out, and Marks, it could fall favorably there for her. This is Marks. Nkambule once, Nkambule gets Young Buffaloes feeling the ball a little bit more now, and a shot on target by Sandiswa Ngampahla. She had so much fun in Malawi last year, did Ngampahla. And starting to feel the leather more and share the leather more with one another are Young Buffaloes. But it's an easy save to make for the Botswana international goalkeeper. Good ball, that's in a chance, yeah! Just on the other side of the bar. It's a slow poison-like ball that's for Jessica Modise. She scored last year against Young Buffaloes. She wants Lightning to strike twice, this time not in Lilongwe, but in South Africa. The Herental Queens. She had 2 goals to her name in the previous edition. It's won back here by Ontlametsi. Really enjoying the ball. She's beaten a couple. Yes, surely now. Oh, it's a brilliant save that by the goalkeeper. What a stop by Mamba. Oh, did such good work there, did Ketumetse Ditebe. Well, that was that magic by Ketumetse Ditebe. She too has won the Best Player of the Tournament award. She was the best player last year. We don't even need to look very far. She's the number 9. That one's kept in play very skillfully. Power! Hits it! Ooh! Not bad of a strike, that's considering as well that she was a couple of yards out, was alone Gaufetuchi. Look at how far she was when she had that. Slendy has got some confidence on her. Sees that perhaps the goalkeeper a little bit out of place. Take on Costa da Sol. They also have got a 3-team group. These sides will be in action again on Monday. They'll play on Kick for Life FC from Lesotho. Chance now, this is Modise! Hits it, but not quite with the contact that she'd wanted there. Down today. It's the first game, there's still lots of nerves. Is our plan going to work? Pen in the sort of abdomen area there. Change now. She's got lots of running room here, does Ontlametse. Now this is Modise, cuts it back to Ditebe. Ontlametse continues chasing. This one hasn't quite gone out yet. It's going to be a 3rd corner for Gaborone, and again it's Willie Lendwandwe. That's just watching there. Good bit of interplay between the midfielders. It's slowly opening up here for Gaborone. Oh, what a ball. That's $1 million pass, but $1 billion. All the big players are there, including Welile Nkambule. She's the one going up for that ball. Still in play here. Can he be kept in? Yes is the answer. So, still in play, scooped up the box. Ooh, and the goalkeeper made sure just to cover her area. I mean, you never know as a goalie. Sometimes it dips on the other side where you aren't sure. She's made sure to watch and carefully ensure that the ball is not on the other side. last year, but it wasn't a goalless one, it was a 1-1, where you had Mpahla on the score sheet as well as Jessica Modise on the score sheet. Both players are still here, and this is her. This is Jessica Modise! Oh, I think perhaps there was a slight hesitation, perhaps thinks that she's offside as well. Good contact on the ball though. Let's have a look at it from this angle and whether there was the potential offside from Modise. She's on there, just so slightly. Very good ball over the top, and the contact is clean. Radia Kanya, what a ball. Now surely it's opened up. This is Radia Kanya. Beats the goalie around the goalkeeper. She goes on Tlametsi. Couple of ladies lining up on the edge of that 18 area, just inside the D. And Ontlametsi tried to be the hero all by herself there. Good ball, good skipping of the goalie by Radia Kanya, who realizes that her angle is tight and that she needs to play it to someone. But a decent defense as well from the young Buffaloes. This could scream danger. Goalkeeper doesn't deal with it. Desri, it's still there for her. And she can't hit the target either there. And perhaps that summarizes the type of 45 minutes that Gaborone United have had, where the chances have come, but they've not been executed. Well, the goalkeeper doesn't deal with it there. There's already a player marking, but wrong-footed perhaps. Skies that one. One back. They still remain persistent here. Spy 2 by Ditebe. Oh, nutmeg there on the way, but she can't get through. Modise. They've got their backs against the wall now, do the young Buffaloes. Scooped up. Is there anyone there? Ditebe! Oh, it hits the bar. That's hit the bar. It hasn't gone in. Oh, such good 1-2 play. Sharing of the leather there. And the coach says nothing more she can do there. Good weight on the head. Good weight on the ball as well. She's just coming through there, and a frustrating first half for the Red Roses. One back. They still remain persistent here. Spy 2 by Ditebe. Oh, nutmeg there on the way, but she can't get through. Modise. They've got their backs against the wall now, do the young Buffaloes. Scooped up. Is there anyone there? Ditebe! Oh, it hits the bar. That's hit the bar. It hasn't gone in. Oh, such good 1-2 play. Sharing of the leather there. And the coach says nothing more she can do there. Good weight on the head. Good weight on the ball as well. She's just coming through there, and a frustrating first half for the Red Roses. Welcome back here to Bunting Road. The UJAW Muller campus is the stage for this year's CAF Women's Champions League qualifiers. And this is the first goalless first half of the qualifiers this year between Gaborone United and the Young Buffaloes FC. Amatole Ezinyati have been under pressure in that first half. Blow after blow, attack after attack, but they did not fold. They haven't folded. They refused to fold. And so let's see how the two teams come into the second period here. We hope wherever in the world you're watching this, you're enjoying the game. It's been a good vibe here at UJ starting yesterday. There's a real buzz around this campus. A buzz because women's football has come to town. And a good bunch of supporters here to support the women's game. The Southern African women's game. A record 10 teams present at this year's competition. Grows every single day. And they all fight. 10 at the beginning, right in match day 1. There'll only be 1 at the end of the 8 match days here at UJ. So let's see how the second half looks and whether Gaborone United can score more goals. They really lack that finishing ability towards the end in the first half. And for Young Buffaloes, not many chances up front for them, it must be said. Marks Mpahla is the target. They would have told them at halftime to play with less fear and more conviction. Away by Ndwandwe. Dlamini gets it out. Further away, only to the feet of Desri Kenyaditswe. Good ball that by Kenyaditswe. There's 4 yellow shirts backing up now. Reinforcements come through for the Red Roses. Kenyaditswe again delivers a missile-like of a ball. And this is Makakula. Looks like a different Young Buffaloes team, this. Looks like they have that a little bit more confidence than the first half, but perhaps that opens him up a little bit. Radiakanya. Good ball through to Ditebe. These are players that linked up so well already in that first half. Radiakanya goes down in the box and the referee does not hesitate. Penalty for Gaborone United. Penalty for the Red Roses. It's that 1-2 Dekaniga type of football that ends up producing the mistake from the Young Buffaloes. Let's have a look at the movement once again. The referee did not think twice to award that. Radiakanya's beaten her player, and it's definitely a foul that by Batelise Ngozo. Feet just dangling there, and she's a clever footballer, is Lesego Radiakanya. You can see she's not looking for the contact. She's just playing ball at that moment, and she's fouled and has subsequently stayed down here. This will be a little bit of a worrying sight for the head coach Khalid Nyozima, who's in our picture here. First time he's sat down, and I guess it's the penalty now that he's thinking about. Ketumetsi Ditebe puts herself and her hand up for set piece duty. Mentioned that Ditebe has before been player of the competition in 2023 for the side. The Botswana Women's Championship winners, scoring 61 goals. Now want to go into the lead here and win their third ever COSAFA Cup qualifiers game. And Ditebe steps up, and no mistake from the penalty spot. She huffed and puffed in the first half, and from the set piece the house has come flying down, and Ketumetsi Ditebe gets her first goal in this year's campaign. This was the young lady that had the stint of football in Turkey, and they brought her back for this precise reason. Cushions it right to the area where the goalkeeper will never get. A little bit of a delayed save as well by the goalie. And the Red Roses hit the lead first. Their first game, they didn't win last year of the competition. So they want to turn a page, to turn that leaf, and to go into that next game against Kick for Life, knowing that the job is a little bit easier, that they've got a 3-pointer under their belt. One back by Ampasha. A good 1-2 play. Now the field has opened up for them. The goalkeeper has timed it to perfection there. And growing in a little bit of confidence now are Gaborone United. This is Modise with an audacious attempt from some yards out there. This young Buffaloes team, they've had some real standout seasons domestically. They once had a season, if I recall correctly, it was the 2022 season, where they completed a 24-game season with 221 goals scored and none conceded. That firepower, if they could bring that type of form here, it could be some real trouble. Because 221 goals in the space of 24 games is immaculate. It comes out to a return of 9 average on goals a game. That was in their 2022 domestic league. They are in a group with the debutants, Kick for Life FC. Though understated at this level, can really influence who advances. But they'll know that their game is against debutants, and Gaborone were debutants themselves last year, so there'll be that narrative to not underestimate a team that's playing for the first time, purely because they're playing in the competition for the first time. I guess there's a difficulty in that studying the opposition becomes a bit of a real headache and a task. You can really maybe start to know how the team plays after 45 minutes, and by then who's to tell what has happened in terms of the scoreline. Similar marks there with the battling away against jersey number 3, Bailetsi. Also was one of the players that represented the Mars at the Cup of Nations. Ditebe dings one on set piece duty. Dangerous looking ball. It's on that D line now. Ampatha takes a touch. It's back at Ditebe's feet skillfully. Ampatha wins it back for the young Buffaloes. It's a brilliant physical battle that. Ditebe emerges with the ball, and Ditebe carries on probing. Ndwandwe goes in the midfield and then is fouled. Second yellow card of the game is issued to Hisejo Radiakanya. The other player to be booked in the first half, if you're just joining our coverage now, is Sikanyiso Makakula. So 2 players into the referee's book here. Teams have performed decently in the Champions League itself. I mean, Sundowns having won it before as the representatives of Southern Africa. But last year's winners were TP Mazembe. Double change being prepped for the young Buffaloes from Eswatini. Assistant coach on his feet. He has not sat down today. The side have only had 2 sniffs at the goal. This is Makakula chasing it down. Makakula gets some service into the box. Nothing occurs there. Now they're going to take the opportunity to make some personnel changes. And the first ones, at least, going to come from the Red Roses, the leaders here. It's Serati Murisenyane. So she replaces Oteng Bonang. Hasn't been all too much involved in the proceedings here this afternoon, it must be said. So Murisanye will look to occupy a bit of a hybrid role between playing at the back and injecting more numbers up front for Gaborone. We're waiting on here because I think young Buffaloes also want to make their personnel changes now. 2 of them being prepared, a double change for Amatole Ezinyati, winners of the cup before they came here. So Simile Marks is replaced by Ndlovu. Ndlovu was a big player last year for the side, scored some very important goals, and Dlamini also makes her way on. Dlamini also one of the players, one of the 9 national representatives of the side. She started on the bench, she comes on now. So they bring on 2 real big guns. Ndlovu was one of their goal scorers last year that really played an important role and scored some big goals in the side. So now their hard hitters have come on. Now their big boys, their bomb squad, so as to say, has made their way onto the pitch. Ten minutes into the second period, and calm is still restored from a Gaborone United perspective. They're still happy with how things sit so far. Modise. Tejri. We could challenge that by Ndlovu early on. Her first contribution is that. Or rather, it's Nonjabuliso Mukhale. Now that is Ndlovu making her first contribution, and it's going to be carrying the ball in the midfield. Only to give it away, though, to the opposite Muchawe. Sekhufetsi Muchawe, Ratari. They've gone for that clip-like ball a couple of times. Clearly a feature of their game for this Gaborone United side, making their second appearance at these COSAFA qualifiers. Not played in the Champions League before. None of these sides have played in the Champions League before. Looking for that lucky spell number 1. A first-time participant last year in the University of the Western Cape. Of course, that Champions League set to take place late in November this year. The Sundowns last year were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Edo Queens. That was our Southern African representative. It went on to be won, of course, that competition by TP Mazembe, beating FAR Rabat 1-0 in the final. University of the Western Cape would go on to be knocked out, of course, in the group stages. You learn very quickly once you get to the CAF Champions League that it's a big girls' game for big players. Good skipping there by Baletsi. Now it's gone up to Ontlametsi. Modise tries to play it on. Mamba comes to collect. And what competitions like this do is that they grow the quality of football in the region. Every single year you see better sides, you see new talent, and I absolutely can't wait to see Kick for Life FC when they kick off their campaign on Monday. Because there's always emerging talent. Always new sides to look out for. Last year we didn't know of Gaborone United and what they were capable of until they came in and really showed that Botswana women's football is high up there in Southern Africa. Double Action Ladies, it showed us previously. They were the Botswana representative around about 2022. It would be the regular feature in this competition. They finished as bridesmaids last year in last year's league campaign to Gaborone United, Double Action. And remember, they finished third place back in 2022. Modise gets it down. Well, she's watched and shepherded there by Smangele Sikonze. An hour's worth of football has been played here at UJ. Gaborone have got a firm foothold on this game, steady one. They've kept their goalkeeper safe for large parts of this one. Only 2 shots on target for Young Buffaloes. They could get another one here. Here is some movement up front. They can't get it to Ampatha. And Gaborone will know very well not to give her even one moment. Give her one moment, she'll punish you. Mokhale plays it up. Can't find another player up front. That is Ndlovu. But it's a regular feature for teams to come here as debutants and announce themselves on the Southern African stage with the bang. UWC, last year's winners, were themselves debutants in the competition. Here's some good movement there, but it ends up in nada for the Young Buffaloes. It's their replacements that have started early on, making the dangerous runs in behind. Ndlovu asking the questions on that right side. The only team outside of South Africa to win this competition was Green Buffaloes back in the 2022 edition of the competition. The team from Zambia. They beat Mamelodi Sundowns 6-5 in the final. That year it ended 0-0 on penalties. Ndlovu requires attention now. stretching it out. I did have a training session yesterday here at A.W. Muller, did Young Buffaloes. A run-in on the legs arrived very late on Thursday. The big thing is that they were only able to get their hotel around about 11. They arrived around about 6 and they were nomads for 5 hours. Can have an impact, a real impact as well. Ditebe. Nice and direct is Ditebe. They attempt that 1-2. Ditebe then recovers and wins a set piece for Gaborone United. Fouled there by jersey 18, Batelise Ngozo. Ngozo. So good with the 1-2. Tries to evade the defender there with some skillful movement. And the dead ball specialist is over it again. So here's the 23-year-old. She played for the Super League club Ankara BB from Get in the Turkish Women's League. So, Ditebe to the far stick. And some packed a punch, that delivery by Ditebe. Gaufetuche tried to put her head onto it. Not a bad movement that she does. She just doesn't direct it goalwards or get the type of contact that she would have wanted there. I'll tell you something interesting about this Young Buffaloes team. They're in fact a team that has got a very good relationship with the military defense force in Eswatini. So what actually ends up happening is that the defense force is very involved with the side. Similar to Green Buffaloes in Zambia, they get some of their transport from the defense force. You know, the defense force sometimes provides them with facilities to train and all that. I thought that was very interesting. I don't think there's anything of that nature in South African land, but similar as well. I think there's a side in Botswana that have got a similar structure. So that's to drop some gems on you and get a little bit of knowledge about the sides. There's Desiree Ratari onto the chest of Modise, who's brought down there. The referee says play on. Now the goalkeeper gets to feel the leather a bit here. Really pressing the goalkeeper, and she's confident on her feet. Here's the goalie there. Both sides would have, I think, a similar thread when you listen to their press conferences, is that both of them feel that they've come into this competition this year with better sides. Teams that could really challenge and go a long distance here in this competition. And become another Southern African representative at the Champions League, except for Sundowns and Green Buffaloes and UWC. Those are the only 3 teams that have gone and represented us in the Champions League. Sundowns, of course, being one of the 3 to win the Champions League as well. The Brazilians of South Africa. Govu, can she counter? Sees there's another lady up front and looks to play it through to Dlamini. Dlamini continues the chase down from Young Buffaloes. That's a good ball. Good defense, spinning pass, and there's 3 other shirts moving. If Lesego can get it across, which she can. Oh, the first touch not the best there, but the ball is still alive. Ketumatsi tried to curl it, and Young Buffaloes eventually get that ball away. No, good little bit of movement that. No, so nearly causes an upset. Ndlovu hits it against the opposition. Oh, great evasion there by Letze! Oh, how has she not scored there? She does so well there to beat the players 1v1. As smooth as butter inside a plate. As smooth as warm butter. And how about this here? Gets past 2. There was the option to maybe slip it across to Ontlametsi, who was maybe in a better position. Cut out. Gaufetuchi. 20 minutes left here. They need to put on more of a fight now, do the Young Buffaloes, if they want to keep their CAF dream alive and reach a second semi-final. Go further than they did in Malawi. Both sides will think that. That's not a bad looking ball. But Camelo Paresi gets it away. And the collision that in the midfield, it's Gaborone United ball. And finish as runners-up in 2023 in the league did Gaborone United, winning the Botswana Women's Championship for the first time in 2024. Are slowly making the incline and making themselves known. So Samyelisiwe Malinga is the 3rd player to get booked here in this game. And I remind you that we've got 2 games a day, 2 by 2. Double the fun, double the COSAFA action. Herental Queens and Costa do Sol are in action at 3 o'clock. And we have the lovely commentary of Mum Gloria Brown then. Four shots on target for Gaborone. Still only the 2 for Young Buffaloes. It would mean that in the second half they have not had a shot at goal, have Young Buffaloes. And 4 yellow cards in the game. 3 belonging to the Buffaloes and 1 to Gaborone. Our stats team really giving them out to us now. 4-3 corners wise. And 61% of the ball has still been at Gaborone United feet. So here comes Ditebe. It's a 23-year-old Ditebe that I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of seasons if she's headed to Europe again. She's got a good ability and still very young as well. Ketumetsi. Topping up now. Here's Radiakanya. Good looking ball that. Can she turn? She can, but she's very well watched and marked there. We need to come into the game sometime, do the young Buffaloes. It's been a one-way traffic so far here in Johannesburg. Back heel, that's not bad. Playing with some confidence and flair now, playing with that colourful football. This is Ditebe. Oh, look at that pass. Almost was $1 million pass for the striker Modise. Haven't made all too many personnel changes. Have Gaborone United sticking to their guns. Only the one change in Modise Nyane. Ratari. Van Tlametsi. Still on her feet. Doing good work there, but wrestled to the ground. Nampahla. Is there a rare opportunity for a counter now? She's overplayed that pass for Dlamini. So up next, both these sides will play against Kick for Life, which is the other team in the group. It's one of those 3-team groups. By Wednesday next week, there'll be an indication of who is through to the semi-finals. We'll bring you those semi-finals next week, Friday, and then the final on Sunday in 8 days' time. Right here in Auckland Park. Gaufetur, touched by Ditebe. Ratari wins the foul for Gaborone in that midfield. It's played quickly. The referee is gonna ask them to come and take it where it was initially won, that foul by Radiakanya. She's pulled the strings today in midfield. It'll be interesting to see who eventually gets the Player of the Match award. Ditebe, another one of those $1 million passes. This time there's a cross that comes through. Only to the feet of Ditebe. It's not cleared very far away from Gozo. Now she tries to make ground. Desiree. Radikanya. Lovely little Tekaniga there with Radikanya. And then Futi Dlamini comes back to defend. So they'll have 1 day, 2 days of a rest, and then they'll be back in it. Jersey 10. Sisanda makes her way on as a replacement to Nanjabuliso Mokhale, who was operating in the 10 position, but not much service. She was barely involved in the game there. It's been a tough outing for the young Buffaloes here today. Paileti looking for options, chooses to recycle. There's Desiree Kinyaditswe. Gaufetuchi. Radiakanya. Good possession. They've held the ball so well, have they, today? Yemuchawe takes it up the field. Now this is Modise, turning them like the pages of a book. It's going to fall here for Modisanye. Good time challenge. He sends it up the field. Twelve minutes of regulated time to go here. 12 minutes for Gaborone to hold on. Like I mentioned, both these sides have just the one game now against Kick for Life up next, which young Buffaloes will first get a run on the legs on Monday, 12 o'clock. And then Gaborone will be in action on Tuesday. So for Kick for Life, they'll have back-to-back games. But here's Gaborone looking to seal this one here. Paul drives it from range, calls of a penalty, fall on deaf ears. We do have VAR that will have a closer look at that one again, of course. Ontlametsi, they look to bury the game now. Another change, perhaps the last one of the drawer of coach Khalid Neozima. It's jersey number 7, Maponga. That's going to replace Ontlametsi. Like for like change with the young Maponga. And there's some cramping as well down there for Ontlametsi. I guess perhaps that forms part of the reason of why she's being changed. For 2004 born Maponga. And the penalty check is going on here, I see, for that potential handball. We'll let you know. The referee is obviously in communication with Nonjabulo Ndlela, who's heading up that video assistant referee, and the check is done. Gaborone United are not going to get another penalty. So happy for COSAFA to have video assistant referees so we can get every single one of those calls right. So well done to the Council of Southern African Football Associations. In some youth competitions, we only see the introduction of VAR only towards the knockout stages, semis and finals. So privileged and blessed to have it early on in the group, from match day 1 right up until match day 8. Ontlametsi was an important player. She had some very good movement in this game. It was a real headache, operating on the right as well as on the left at times. That's the Young Buffaloes technical team, huge team that they've come with here. Had a lengthy chat as well with their CEO, Bab Sandile Kwebu, who's also traveled and come with the team here to South Africa to support them. They've got a huge boys development structure as well then, starting at under 10 right up until professional football. Ditebe, the only goal scorer here today. From the penalty spots, if you've joined our coverage late, that's the difference. The goal by Kekdumetsi Ditebe from the penalty spot. This would give Gaborone United their 3rd victory in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers if they're able to hold on. Out of 6 games played in total, including last year's competition and this one, they'd have 3 won, 3 drawn, and the loss in the final, not even in 90 minutes. So it would mean actually that they are yet to lose in a 90-minute, because they drew to UD Lichinga, drew to Young Buffaloes, Ascent Academy. It was a 3-2 victory. So in fact, Gaborone United's outings here have yielded dividends. Yet to lose. Now this could be a moment that could cause an upset. A corner up the field for Young Buffaloes. Is anyone attacking this? Yes, there is. Mandamoya at the back there for a second for Gaborone. They also would have scored. This is their 7th goal in the qualifiers for Gaborone. But all those numbers, all that means nothing if you don't qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. They'll have the bigger, the broader objective, the broader goal in mind. Ditebe. Murisinyane back to Ditebe. She's enjoyed her football here today. Perhaps she'll win that Player of the Match award. It's fallen for Ditebe. Maybe was she offside? She misses the target. How has she not hit the target there? And the flag looks like it didn't come up. Must have been at the back of her head that maybe I'm off, but the coaches will tell you to put it into the net, and we'll see afterwards. Good little 1-2 play, and she's just offside. VAR would have ruled it off. She's got to hit the target though, but they still remain right on the ropes. Do the young Buffaloes will be back to the drawing board for them for their second game, and they'll hope not their last game against Kick for Life on Monday. Kick for Life will be watching this and using this footage to identify some of the weaknesses of the opposition. They have back-to-back games, Monday, Tuesday. Nancy wins it. Mudise being watched by Dlamini, and Dlamini wins that battle with Mudise. Now Kacheni Ndlovu turns Ratari and shows her the entire A.W. Muller campus. Now maybe it can open up. It's a heavy ball for Ngampahla. Oh, she got the touch. She maybe looked around, trapped and scanned. But they'll be top of the group after today. And they have a day or so where they will enjoy that. For Gaborone. Young Buffaloes, this would be loss number 7 for them in their 4th edition of this competition. If they aren't able to salvage anything from this game, it would be loss number 7. And the first one to Gaborone after it was 1-1 in Malawi last year. Kinyaditswe. One back. Is there maybe a late last fight at this one? Mudisinyane back defending. Comfortable for Gaborone. I think Jersey 77's also had a very good game, as Ubonetsi Ratari in that middle of the park. She's really been the engine of the side. It's a V20 engine, if I must say. Powerful. She's operated right at the base of that midfield. That's where perhaps this game has been won, because they've not given them anything away in the middle of the park. And she's winning that ball again and bursting with pace is Ratari. I was just telling you about her. She puts the ball through. Lerato, oh, it's still available. Yeah, Nancy is saved again. And Mamba with the moment. Yeah, the goalkeeper is the hero. Look at how they're applauding her, because they know how close that was. The defense was fully stretched and the goalkeeper emerges as the winner. Now look at this. First save, then realizes she needs to get up and on her feet and makes a second one, and it's not done there just yet. That could have been game, set, match. Could have won it for Gaborone. They've made a late change here as well. Amogelang Sibutu, the youngest player in their team, makes her way on. Born in 2009. They get younger and younger, these footballers. And so that's good, to bring in the young girl child and expose her to this high level of competition early on. Give her 3 years and she'll be an OG. She'll be a veteran of these games, like the likes of Ditebe and Radiakanya are. They are happy. They're in the lead, albeit it's 1 goal. But the trip from Botswana has not proved fruitless just yet. So we're edging towards the end of this one here now. 89 minutes of football on the clock, 89 minutes of football on the legs. It'll be interesting to see how much time is added on here. Gaborone not looking to increase the tempo at all here. It's a throw in for them that they're taking their time well to take. So we're into the referee's discretionary time now. And the man from Lesotho indicates 5 additional minutes. Does the 4th official, Tebelogeng Teresa Situku. Morisinyane clips it up. Is there another? Is there one more roll of the dice? The last straw maybe for the young Buffaloes. They'll be losing to this opposition for the first time in their 2nd ever game. Last year it was a much closer affair out in Malawi. And Gaborone was still really finding their feet. Both sides, though, need I say, ended up finding themselves in a semi-final. Foul throw. And I guess the fatigue. Tight legs, tight minds starting to set in. Ratari. Morisinyane. Down the field, good looking ball. That is, now the pressure has remained, although the defense does its job. Next game, of course, sees the ladies from Zim take on the ladies from Mozambique. It's a Rental Queens FC against Costa do Sol. It's 3 o'clock on our COSAFA platforms, on FIFA Plus and on SABC Sports. And the lovely commentary of Gloria Brown to accompany that. That should be a real good game. Rental Queens have finished 3rd before in the competition. They're back again, back like they never left, back and better. Morisinyane scoops it up again. Oh, maybe a handball there. And the referee adjudicates it as such for the young Buffaloes. Good call. Mabong's hand is the guilty hand there. And we've got 2 minutes left on the clock with a wind beginning to pick up down there for the players. Real palpable one as well. No, good ball. Maybe Ratari here could wrap up a good performance with a goal. Oh, she's had one good shift here, and she subsequently remains on the ground. Does Obenotsi Ratari, one of the best players on the pitch today. Was a representative as well in Morocco a month or so ago now for the Cup of Nations, and stepped on by the studs of Simangele Sikonze there. But the dust maybe begins to settle here for young Buffaloes. Perhaps their fate now is slowly starting to sink in. They haven't had a shot on target in the second half, only the 2 shots on target throughout the game. And the penalty is the difference here. Doesn't need to be pretty or good looking, it just needs to do the job, and for Gaborone United it would have done the job. They'll want to work on the finishing definitely in midweek as the games become more competitive and the stakes become higher. The 3 points will be something that they take and go back to their hotel and cherish today, because the fight goes on Tuesday for them. Bit of a longer break, I guess, too. So they'll be definitely rested by the time they take on Kick for Life Women's FC from Lesotho. I wonder what's being checked here. There's a lengthy stoppage. The referee's going to go check herself. It would mean that it's something quite significant. Head over to the VAR box. Well, Gloria Sambumba, it's a red card check on that previous challenge. So, of course, VAR in the building here at Bunting Road and making sure that all the calls are right, and she may be a lady that's in trouble now. Sikonze. Studs, 100% studs. Adequacy of dangerousness as well in the challenge there. This is going to be an interesting call. It's one of the centre backs for young Buffaloes, and if her tournament comes to an end here, it could be a real big blow for Coach Hlophe. Oh, doesn't look any better when you slow it down, does it? Referee getting a good hard look. Gloria Sambumba, Zimbabwean international referee, has officiated a good game here today. Hasn't needed to go to the screen all too much, but this you can understand why. She wasn't even given a card initially, which is interesting. It's perhaps a caution. But there's been plenty of cards given, I think 4 or 5 yellow cards today from the referee. I think there's a good possibility that Simangele Sikonze may see red here. So it's important to get all those little calls right. Here's a different type of angle. From one of our cameras here towards the center line of the pitch. That again gives a good view of the illegality there, of the challenge. It's been going on for some time now, this check. It's heading towards 60 seconds. Referee needs to make a decision. It'll be the first red card of the competition, and it may be going to Simangele Sikonze. Let's see. A decision has finally been reached by the referee, and what is it? She's going into her pocket here. I see the red card, and the first of the competition here is going to go to Simangele Sikonze. Referee calls over for judgment day, for delivery of the judgment, and perhaps a little bit of an explanation that will accompany that. But it's red, and young Buffaloes are going to have to complete the game with only 10 players. But how about this for support? The Gaborone players and the young Buffalo players have gone over to comfort Smangele Skonze, the national Eswatini representative. Perhaps that's her COSAFA women's qualifiers done. The first red card of the competition. What may be an early shower, but maybe a premature end to her competition. She'll be so sad that she can't help her side even more. But here is a player that's played a phenomenal game today. The goal scorer, Ketumetse Ditebe, Ben 10. Over the dead ball here. Perhaps the last movement of the game. We're well over the 95 minutes, heading well towards 100 minutes on our clock here. So Ketumetse Ditebe scored from the penalty spot. Now she's got this dead ball situation. Here comes the lefty and the wall does its job. Ditebe still on it. This is still Ditebe. Sends it to the box. Can someone finish it? And that is game. Gaborone United have clinched it in style, but it won't count. It's offside. It won't count. The referee's assistant, Nandi Pamenze, had a flag up early. He's chuckling, but he won't mind too much. She'll mind, Nancy Bailetsi. Offside. Good call by Nandi Pamenze. That's why she's one of the best referees in the COSAFA region. That's why she's one of the best assistant referees on the continent as well. But they won't mind too much. They've got one goal lead here, and surely at 3 points home and away. Herental Queens and Costa del Sol up next on 3 o'clock on our COSAFA TV. You can catch it on FIFA Plus. You can catch it also on SABC Plus. Gaborone not done just yet here. This is Ditebe. Looks for the 1-2. There's another option on that right. Doesn't use it, does Ditebe. This is Lerato. And the goalkeeper Mamba collects it at the end. So, is that how the cookie crumbles here at UJAW Mona Campus? And the referee, Gloria Sambomba, brings game number 3 of the competition to an end. Gaborone United walk on as winners, last year's runners-up, pick up their first 3 points in this year's competition, and their first 3 points towards the CAF Women's Champions League. Radari, what a phenomenal game that she had. I see now she's been nominated as the player of the match, and deservedly so. So for Young Buffaloes, they spent large parts of the game chasing the game against Gaborone United. Clearly bridesmaids on the day and second place side against Gaborone United. The goalkeeper Mamba was called upon to make some big moments. She had a very good game. All but for her, the scoreline could have looked very different here towards the end. But a good showing of Botswana and Eswatini football. An enjoyable game here on COSAFA TV, and Group B is off and underway, ladies and gentlemen. They'll come back, and there'll be a better side on Tuesday. Amatole Ezinyati, the same way that a Buffalo comes back time and time again. So, Obenetse Ratari, what a shift in the midfield. The general picks up player of the match. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to COSAFA TV. At the end of full time, it's Gaborone United 1, Young Buffaloes 0. So here's the numbers then. It only took the 1 goal from the penalty spot for Gaborone United. They held lots of the ball, 59-41 in terms of possession. They had 4 shots on target compared to only the 2 for Young Buffaloes FC that got those 2 shots on target in the first half. 5 corners to 4, and the big stats as well to come from this game is that the first red card has been issued and it's gone to the centre half, Smangele Skonze. Gaborone United will top Group B in the interim, while Young Buffaloes FC will lace up and dust off the dust and their bruises as they prepare for their game against Kick for Life Women's FC on Monday here at UJ. But for now, it's 1 Gaborone, 0 Young Buffaloes after full time.
And now we are joined by Young Buffaloes head coach Fisiwe. Hard luck, coach. The overall of the game, please.
We didn't play very well. We let ourselves down because we didn't win the second ball. Most of the times we didn't win the second ball. That's what they make it difficult for us, more especially in the first half. Whereas in the second half we just conceded a soft set piece that cost us the game.
Coach, you seem to struggle to match your opponent's control, the midfielder. What was the challenge in that area, the midfielder?
They were too slow, so they were playing short passes. They didn't put the ball up front in the behind the defense, so that cost us playing in the short passes. Mm-hmm. That's the reason they didn't play very well.
Your team had moments on the counter, but couldn't sustain the pressure.
Yeah, we have moments in the counter attack. That's where we are supposed to score goals. Unfortunately, we were losing the ball cheaply.
Let's talk about the game ahead. Will you be working to improve tactically before you face the Kick for Life?
Yeah, we have to go back and prepare for Kick for Life.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
And now we're joined by the winning coach, Coach Khalid Nyonzima. Congratulations, coach. Please give us the overall of the game.
Yeah, I would like to thank my players, technical staff, for the 3 points. I'm happy with the 3 points, but I'm not happy with the performance. But it's one thing that we need to improve. It's our first game. When you are playing your first game, even the opponents, they have something to fight for. So to get 3 points from this game, I think we'll improve from this game. But all in all, tactically, I think we applied ourselves better. But we missed a lot of scoring opportunities. We could have maybe went to halftime leading 2 or 3. But like I'm saying, it's first game of tournament, so every team is coming here gunning for 3 points. But I'm very, very happy with the performance of the girls. And well done to our counterparts, Young Buffaloes. I think they came up with a plan of sitting back and trying to catch us on breaks or on counter. But it was not enough for us to break our defenders, because only we found that the only lone striker there with 4 defenders or 2 defenders of ours. So it was very, very difficult for them to penetrate. But it was a very, very good game for both of the teams.
You're talking about missing chances as well, and also not finishing on the finishing line. Do you think what do you think was missing on the attacking third to turn the possession into goals?
The girls were very, very fast. We needed to be composed. We need composure in the box, because remember, when you are on the box, you are the king. So they were rushing decisions. That's why they were missing a lot of chances. But we need to go back and rectify those mistakes in terms of how we want to how we want to convert. But it was a great game.
How do you plan to address this finishing issue before you face your opponent's Kick for Life?
We have to keep on working on it in terms of trying to do offensive drills, try to improve our scoring chances. But it's something that we need to improve. But we won. We have to be thankful. We have to be happy that we didn't concede. We should be happy for the clean sheet that the girls kept.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
And that was Coach Khalid Nyonzima.
Again.
A little bit more confidence than the first half, but perhaps that opens him up a little bit. Radiakanya. Good ball through to Ditebe. These are players that linked up so well already in that first half. Radiakanya goes down in the box and the referee does not hesitate. Penalty for Gaborone United. Penalty for the Red Roses. It's that 1-2 deck.